Alright, welcome back. Sorry for those technical difficulties. My computer likes to switch things with me and not actually clicking them to switch. So that would be the issue for the technical difficulties here, but we are back on Apex Racing TV, and I do believe that we have gotten this fixed this time. If I can get a confirmation from someone in the chat, that would be absolutely awesome. Sorry that we haven't had any of this working so far. I don't know why, but my computer loves to do these things to me, but only while I'm doing a broadcast. It doesn't like to do it to me any other times, but I believe we're back now. So just looking now at this midfield battle here, pretty much 10th through, I would say about 15th. Not too much time separating between them, just about 6 seconds, and then it's just about a second now up to P11, so you can just see how close it is. Daniel Perry currently leads this train that leads them all the way back now to, I believe it is 16th place, and it's 2.9 seconds behind, so you can just see how close everyone is there. And really close is through 15th, which is just now 2 seconds behind, so we can just see how close that midfield battle is. The front battle is starting to JJ Nylander has just sort of slip away when we were going on the break. Now he's up to 2.9 seconds advantage, though. He's doing an absolutely wonderful job.
He's currently running away from the rest of the pack. Saw Yvonne Turbe, he's actually fallen down from Tyson Mayer as, Till Norwig. Believe he's just crashed or retired, or he's just jumped. Oh, he's just jumped to the pits. Okay.
Now, through the first center, through the S's here in Imola, so you can just see now how difficult the track is to get absolutely perfectly right. All the drivers have to do this track with pinpoint accuracy there, and you can just see that is Perry running just a little bit wide. That's going to give Balugart a good run in the McLaren. Keep in mind, the McLaren does have superior speed over the Mercedes here today, but it'll pretty much only come in play down these absolutely long straightaways here in Imola. So we'll see how that one is able to play out there. Jeremy Rogers is now currently at the head. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It is Holte who's at the head of the field. That is the battle for 21st. That's currently a 5, maybe 6 car battle as they work their way through now. You can just see those, I believe it is actually 5 cars back, and it is in the back with Samuel Robson. So we'll see. Well, just quickly, I got to jump back forward here because it's all kicking off here in the front.
Yeah, if you look at the front, Daniel Perry's defending from a few moves. See that red McLaren charging down, going into that double apex, double left-hander turn. As like you said, the McLarens have the definite top speed advantage going down this long front straight. Imola's separated by a lot of chicanes, a lot of tight turns, but this front straight is where this McLaren loves to fly.
Definitely where it wants to fly here. One thing I'm quickly interested to see while we're kind of making some mistakes, some of the drivers making some of the mistakes, I just want to look at the track temperature. Right now it is quite cool, but as there we go, and he isn't able to get it done, and it's maybe contact behind him. But Daniel Perry able to hold on to 11th spot as they work their way through, but Balugart is not able to get that move done in the McLaren. That's crucial for him because he's pretty much not able to get that move done now until they get onto the straightaway, because through all these kind of tighter, twisty sections, the Mercedes for sure has the advantage.
Yeah. Mercedes is the car of choice in this race. It's the most popular car being driven by now. It's not the leading car because it doesn't have that get up and go speed, but it certainly has the control advantage over the McLaren.
It definitely has that advantage all the way through, and you can just see it, the Fury SimSport driver able to keep that car out in 11th spots. We'll see how everything shakes up with the pit stop race. We currently have a battle now for 8th with these two drivers, Monte and PORSCHE, as we haven't given these drivers any sort of love. They are pretty much the only 2 drivers other than that big battle there. The battle for the front, the only battle inside the top 10 right now, so we're going to continue to look with them as they are in similar horsepower cars. The Audi and the Mercedes, obviously the cars that are used in the IMSA GT3 series, so definitely easy for these drivers to compete quite well. They are pretty equal equipment as I know that they do an absolutely awesome job with that BOP between
Oh,
these two cars, but you can just see they're pretty much matching each other on pace
CSA
everywhere.
CSA has closed down on him going into the S's, but they're just so close to each other as we're watching Fergizio Guidi as they're going around the S's. One of our Argentinian drivers defending from Hoyer right behind.
Yeah, those Argentinian driver able to move his way up through the field now, and just see if I can get a club on it without having to see it there. I don't know if I can get it on my timing gantry. I don't think so. Yeah, but Daniel Perry, though, just barely leading over him, as just quickly we'll take a look now. You can just see how close they really are by that camera. When they are going through the corner, they are pretty much equal to each other as they head down now into one of the tightest corners on the racetrack and then up into the S's. Definitely a very tricky section to get right, very easy to get the section wrong, and if you get it wrong, it can spell disaster.
Okay, you're back.
So there we go, just quickly looking now through a little bit farther up the field now, as just keeping on with this battle. These guys are still really, really close all the way through. Not anyone able to get up, and there we go. There's Goody down the inside of Perry. They are not going to touch, but it is very, very close indeed. But Perry is going to hold on to the position as they quickly move their way now down the front straightaway there. You can just see them, how quickly they will close that gap. And there they go under the bridge and down into turn number 1, into the chicane now. Goody gonna look and see if he can't get into the Fury Simsport driver of Daniel Perry. Let's see if he can get into his head a little bit and just try to peek out on some moves.
The inside.
He's gonna try it, but it's just not gonna happen.
Oh, he's gone back in there. He's getting onto that gearbox, hopping over these curves, upsetting the car just a tad bit as they're heading into this hairpin. Nice try by Fergizio Guidi, but unable to close in on Perry.
Not able to close in indeed as they head up the hill now and into the double left-hander as this is definitely, like I was saying, just such a difficult corner to get right. And in this corner, the corner where you have to brake while you're turning and continue the brake all the way down until you get to the uphill section. That's a very easy corner to lose the car. And if you just go a little bit too hot in there and you kind of get up on that exit curb and you get up there a little bit too much, you can actually get a slowdown, which definitely hurts you coming down into this section. So you just see Daniel Perry fighting that Mercedes AMG as he heads through there trying to get every last bit of pace. We're right on board here with Goody to see if he can't try to get by him, maybe look for a move into the left-hander. He is going to kind of look there, but isn't going to be able to make the move. But as he heads through there now, he heads onto the front straight. We'll see if he can get a move done this time.
He's going to sit in that slipstream as much as he can, so right-hander to a left-hander straight. So Goody is waiting for the exact right moment to launch his car. He's going to try to go for the move around the outside. He's positioned it. He's got the front gearbox in there, and he's got the front nose in there. And Goody having the drag race advantage up into the inside line, into the S's. Goody will get P11.
So Goody now up into P11. Perry drops back. Now he's on the back foot. He's got to try to get his way back forward. So we'll see how much time he will actually lose from that. He could benefit easily, though, from the slipstream, which can make a big, big difference here at Imola. These straightaways here are very, very long, and the corners are very important as well. And you can definitely see Daniel Perry has got the advantage to the corners, but Goody was just able to get him on the exit, having that straight line speed advantage of the Ferrari. So we'll see how that is able to play into effect if he's actually able to move that car back up forward. Michi Hoyer is now just going to be chasing down the Mercedes AMG ahead of him. It's a 3-car Mercedes AMG train right now. Daniel Perry leads the train, and it's currently Hoyer and Smirnoff in the 2 cars behind him. So right now, Goody is holding off a Mercedes AMG train right now.
Yes, they are, but what's happened to Perry? He's gone extremely slow, and he almost backs up, and yet there is damage on the car behind. Smirnoff actually went into the back of Perry. Perry's going all over the track, but he just dropped down, and yep, Smirnoff going into the pits after receiving significant damage from Perry after we went offline and just went into the back of him.
So we'll quickly get a replay. Ooh, yeah, just cut him off a little bit too much there. Very easy to do, especially whenever you're not really paying attention. I believe Daniel Perry ended up getting that slowdown whenever he was on the outside of the corner. I believe he just ran just a little bit too wide. Easy to get a slowdown penalty, and there you go. Michi Hoyer is also going to get it, but no, he's going to force him onto the curbing, and Perry is able to move up that move, but now he's got 2.4 seconds to close down to Federico Godi.
They're going side by side through that hairpin. I don't know why we're watching that Godi and Perry, but Perry is defending as much as he can on Hoyer. Hoyer looking down the inside, coming into this tough double left-hander. They're rubbing each other, going through and get a little bit of argy-bargy. He's pushing Perry off the track, but Perry's staying with there, keeping his front nose in there. But as they go into this hard right-hander, Perry is going to just relinquish that position momentarily to Hoyer. But great battling between these two cars.
Yeah, absolutely amazing battle between these two. They're just able to keep it up all the way through every section of the track. Not really either one of them trying to back down, but Hoyer is going to get the move on Perry. Perry is now going to really be on the attack mode, moving back forward. We're currently 23 minutes into this race, so we're just over halfway point. So we should be seeing driver pit stops now in just about 2 minutes time, and we could see it all the way up to about the 30-minute mark. So we usually expect to see it in about 25 minutes. As you can see, Barres into the pit lane now. So Manuel Barres into the pits in that Mercedes, as we haven't really given much love to the front drivers. JJ Nylander in the lead, Tyson Mayer in second, and Javon Turman in third. But everyone pretty much spread out now, except for Bradley Healy, who is currently chasing down Dave Cameron in the Audi. So you can just see there Healy has started to close that gap down, not really able to make up anything special. But there we go, Daniel Perry and Hoyer still going at it. Perry's going to try the outside. He isn't going to be able to make the move stick, but we'll see if he can get it. Ooh, Hoyer with a big twitch.
And Perry powers it through, getting the better exit off that switchback, and now he's going to do what Hoyer did to him, but Hoyer's going to try to hold it around the outside. Perry giving more room than Hoyer did to him. They're still battling side by side, coming up to the tough right-hander. Hoyer's got the inside. Perry's going to hold it around the outside, gets it to the grass, and his car snaps, and he goes wide.
So Perry wide. That's unfortunate for him, and that will be a slowdown penalty as well for going too far out through that corner. Immediately, it's pretty much like a 2-second slowdown through there, so that's going to definitely cost him a lot of time over the course of the run. But now he's just going to have to try to catch down Hoyer again. You can see that we're just, neither one of them were looking to back out of that move, and they are definitely right now backing up into Vincente Martin, so that is not what they want to be doing early on in this race.
You know how I was saying about Vincente Martin earlier on? He's moved up 18 positions from where he started. He's on a run today.
Yeah, definitely on a run, and Perry also moving up 8 spots. You can see a few drivers moving up a good amount of spots now, but pretty much everyone just on an absolute charge forward as they head into these final few minutes of the race. We just got about another 15 minutes left in this race, and not a whole lot of time for these drivers to get it done. We're over the halfway point. So Perry's definitely going to have to try to make a charge back forward if he wants to catch on Hoyer. But right now, though, if I was Perry, I would be more worried about Vincente Martin behind.
Yeah, Martin is looking definitely quick, and he is just about a second behind of Perry, but he is definitely the one to look out for the P11 spot. We were saying more cars as they go into the pits halfway through this race. The leaders have not really gone into the pits. The top one that has gone to pits, I believe, is Perez down in 17th.
Yeah, so we quickly pull up the pit stops up for you there on the screen. There we go. And yeah, just like you said, Perez has made a pit stop. Burisma and Norig have all made pit stops, but none of these other drivers have. I would not be I would be normal we have seen on this series for drivers to come in around the 25-minute mark, and pretty much the latest we'll see drivers come in is the 30-minute mark, but I've seen drivers stretch it all the way to about the 35 if they're able to really get if they're really able to keep on with the fuel to the end.
There goes Martin into the pits. We were looking at him on Perry. Martin ducked back in there, and he's going to go into the pits, and 18 positions up where he started. We're going to see where his exact pace will be when he comes out.
Yeah, so we'll see how the pace is. It gives the tires a chance to cool off a little bit if they were just a bit too hot for them. Gives them a chance to cool off and get back to a usable temperature. But right now, Dave Cameron and Bradley Healy closing down on Jerry EXRACING. So as he moves his way through now the tricky right-hander up the hill and into the S section, Cameron's going to be looking to see if he can't make that move up.
Yeah, Cameron getting very close to that Mercedes. Well, they're all Mercedes in this group, I believe. Well, they got the Audi at the rear, but it's 2 Mercedes and an Audi in the battle for P5. Dave Cameron, Bradley Healy, and Ivo Howler. Very interesting names going here, but the leaders, JJ Nylander, Tyson Muir, and Javon Turman, they're all in the pits, so we might see all these guys go to the pits, and yes, they do. Side by side they go, and they almost had contact in there, and Ivo Howler, Bradley Healy actually stayed out, and Bradley Healy is going to inherit the lead. He has not had the pit. He's not had a pit yet, but JJ Nylander coming out of the pits right now. Where is he going to come out? We're looking at Fur Rodriguez right now, coming down into this left-hander, just following him as close as he can. Not the side-by-side action that we've been used to from a few of these guys. But pretty close racing as the pit strategy is now coming out.
Yeah, so as the pit strategy comes up now, we'll see how each one of these drivers is going to fare when they are able to get out of the pit lane. Currently, Bradley Healy has the the race lead, but it is JJ Nylander in the net race lead in that McLaren. Currently, absolutely away from Tyson Meyer, who is in that geodesic McLaren, and he is currently just 5.9 seconds back, almost 6 seconds back from the leader, so chances of him catching are very, very slim. But Daniel Perry into the pit lane, Michi Hoyer, and a few other drivers all diving into the pit lane this time, but we'll see where these drivers come out in comparison to the lights of Dave Cameron, who is already ahead, and some of the other drivers just down the field who have pitted early. We saw Barres, who had pitted really, really early, able to come out far, far ahead of Daniel Perry. And I'll try to quickly get the pit stops.
That's a lot of nose damage on Barres' car right there.
And we can just see who has not made the pit stop and who has. Haley is into the pit lane now. Hoyer Weller into the pit lane as well. So as we just look between the two,
I believe Nylander is going to jump them right here. They're both getting into their pit stalls right now. But we're looking back at Perez right there. Yeah, here goes Nylander, and he snipes P1.
So Nylander now able to snatch P1 up from our leader. Yes, he is. He is able to snatch P1 away from him, as everything will just now update there as they work their way through. But as everyone's pretty much just spreading out just more and more and more as the race is coming to a close. And there you can see Daniel Perry closing down. He's all the way back to 20th, so keep that in mind. After everyone's made their pit stop, he is back to 20th place. So that is not looking good for that driver, as he's just lost a ton of time in the pit stop phases. Must have had a little bit of damage that he had to repair in order to get that car back out. We did know that he did have some contact, but Barres now having to defend from PORSCHE. So we'll see how that's going to fare. He's got quite a bit of damage on the front end of that car, does Barres. So if PORSCHE is able to move up into ninth spot, so we'll keep an eye on this battle. It's Mercedes v Audi in the front.
They're coming through this hairpin right now, and down this back straight Perez under attack from the Audi, but I don't think he's going to have much of a fight from Burisma, but Burisma is going to use this opportunity to get as close as he can to this Mercedes. But Perez is extending the track a little bit too much right there. And that gives Burisma a good run as they're going into this tough right-handers. We've seen a lot of mistakes happen right here as Burisma closing in, coming up to the chicane, might try to send it up the inside right here. He's thought about it, but he's going to sink back behind Perez.
So he's able to just sit up back behind just a little bit more and just try and get that slipstream now. I know his thinking now is, all right, I'm just going to try and get him down the front straightaway, but that can always be a little bit risky because turn one's not the easiest place to get a move done. As it's quite easy for the driver to hold it round the outside and just kind of keep you at bay. But we're looking now. Look at the battle now. Hoyer is currently battling with Martin, who is he's actually battling with Sergey Smirnov just ahead of him now. So he's chasing him down, and they've all maintained positions. Daniel Perry, the only driver who has lost positions out of that whole deal. So a bit interesting there that he had lost those positions. We'll see how that is able to go for him. Just a little bit further on down the road.
So we see this three-car battle. Everyone just separated. Not too close to each other, but Hoyer is closing in on Perez through these S's. Perez and Hoyer, both of them have a little bit of front wing damage, front nose damage. Sorry, I'm used to the Formula side of things, but these guys coming around this hairpin. Everyone's just pretty much settled in to their spots. About 8 minutes left in the final race here at Imola.
It's just a few minutes left in this race. So as they work their way now through some of these, just the tight sections here in Imola, this beautiful, beautiful circuit in northern Italy. As just about 6 minutes left now in this race, and you can just see that three-car battle for 13th position. So those three just able to keep that battle alive as they work their way in through the final few minutes of this race. But as they just are going to work their way through onto the front straightaway now, and it will be Smirnov who will keep the lead for this lap, but we'll see how that battle will work its way out into the final 5 minutes of this race.
Yeah, on the back end of this battle is Vicente Fernandez Martin. 15 places up from where he qualified, aka dead last. He's had one of the best runs I've seen from a driver, the biggest mover so far in this field after his pit stop, and he's closing in on these guys, keeping his way behind Michi Hoyer and Smirnov right here. See if they might have any battle that results in a little bit of mistake from these two. So he's just staying his ground and keeping behind them. But these guys are getting extremely close, and Michi Hoyer might try something on Smirnov, and he's looking for the outside move. He's going to go for the switch track up to the inside. Thought about it, broke a little bit early, and Smirnov just swooped around the outside and got ahead of him. And now he's actually blocking down the inside for the toughest right-hander on the track.
Yes, as they head up the hill now, we'll see how those are able to fare. And as everyone is starting to now close back up again. So we're just seeing that there as Martin is going to go up past Fabian Higali. So he is able to get that move up. There's, big twitch there. And Higali is able to get that move done in the BMW. Just barely able to get ahead in the BMW. We'll see if he can hold it now down into the double left-hander, yeah. And on to the front straightaway now, but the Mercedes AMG will have the slipstream as they work their way down the front straightaway now.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Martin had the better exit, but we're going to switch back over to Perez and Till Norwig. I believe that is car behind him. Yes, it is in that Ferrari. Going into these S's, he's just going to stay behind them, maybe hop a little bit of these curves, but oh my goodness, both of them getting to the gravel, and Perez getting the slow line. Gonna have to go into the slow lane. Norway going to go for the switchback, but Perez holding that inside line, actually parking it almost on the apex to just absolutely kill all of Norway's momentum. He actually had a little bit of break mid-corner right there.
So as they head now through the left-hander down into the tricky right-hander complex, as they head down the hill now, Barres just able to stay ahead of Norwig, and battle is still going to continue. We're just about 3 minutes left in the race here at the VRS Sprint Championship, as we will just quickly focus back on Martin and Haugili as they head up the hill now to see if they can see what this battle is going to entail for us going into the final few minutes, as everyone is pretty much all spread out all the way through the field. We're seeing 2 and 3 second gaps. Minimum gap I'm seeing right now, other than the 3 battles that we're currently having, are just about 1.5 seconds. So we're seeing quite a bit of separation from all the drivers, but doesn't definitely die down in the battling here in the final few minutes. We also got a battle for 8th place. This is between Unenti and Borisma, so we'll see how that is able to fare out as they head their way through. But now there we go, Norwig is going to look for the move on Barres. He isn't going to be able to make the move stick, and as they work their way through the first chicane and now into the quick left-hander and into the second chicane of the lap, they will continue this battle up until the final lap.
Norway just dancing around the back end, and he gets him right there because he had a slow down penalty. Perez just suddenly slowed down. I believe he had to lift off because he actually cut the track just a little bit or something, but Norway just shot past him and gets P10 from Manuel Verhada Perez.
Yeah, and they're not able, and I don't know if Perez is going to be able to challenge him back now, as he is 0.7 of a second behind, and he was just barely faster than Norwig, so would be surprised if he is able to get that move back done. But we'll look back forward here with Punenti and Borisma, and they are still going to be staying single file as they head through the S's, but we'll see if he is able to get a draft down the front straightaway and is able to make that move up. But I don't believe right now that he's going to actually be able to get that move done down into turn 1.
45 seconds remain in this race, and I believe we are in the final lap because JJ Nylander has just crossed the line right now, and yeah, he will, well, he's actually way past the line, but 30 seconds left, and I believe this is the last lap. Okay.
So white flag is out here in the VRS Sprint Championship as they work their way now down. This is pretty much do or die here for Borisma. If he is going to get this move done, he's got to make it in the first sector. We know how hard it is to pass in that final sector, especially through the middle sector. It's not the easiest place to pass. He's just going to try to get that move done. Maybe he can try it down into the hairpin. We'll see if he is able to do so. But
oh, he's carrying a lot of speed right there. Back end kicking out, but he is definitely on the hunt, going to go for the switchback around the out, taking a wider line into the exit. Is going to keep it on the grass actually, but Borisma riding that bumper. He might try and move up the inside into the double left-hander. Yes, he's going to try, but no, he's going to back out once more. He's actually had a bad turn, bad exit, bad braking point, and he's going to fall back and just sit back behind La Fuente up ahead.
And is able to keep that move done, so we'll see if Borisma is able to get that move done. JJ Nylander will cross the line for the win. Tyson Meyer in second, and Javon Turman, in third. Jared Hernandezson will come home in fourth, with Dave Cameron in fifth. Bradley Healy in sixth. Ivo Howlier, Danny, and then now we're looking now at Danny.
Borisma is going to go for the last shot. They're having a drag race down the front straight, coming up to the line. La Fuente defending on the inside. Borisma side by side across the line. Who's going to get it? It's going to be La Fuente by 0.02 seconds.
So nice battle between those two. Just 0.02 of a second between them at the line. That was very, very close. Till Norwig is going to get 10th, and Barres down in 11th. Actually, Hoyer just by 1/10 of a sorry, actually Marcus Baumont is going to get 13th, just ahead of Michi Hoyer in 14th. So we're just going to quickly wait for everyone now to kind of cross the line and finish up here. We just are waiting on just a few more drivers to cross the line before we can get you the final grid results here from Imola. But definitely a good race to complete here today in Imola. Here for the final round of the VRS Championship. We will be taking one off week next week for week 13 here in the iRacing system. And then we'll be back for more exciting VRS Sprint action next season at the same time slot on Apex Racing TV. And just looking here at the schedule for next season, just quickly as we wait for the final results to finalize, we're looking at a WeatherTech Laguna Seca round number 1. Then we'll head over to the Canadian circuit of Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. And then we'll jump over across the pond to Donington Race Park, and then back across the pond again to Watkins Glen International. Then we'll head on to Spa-Francorchamps for week 5 and Brands Hatch for week 6. Then we'll head down to Brazil into Jose Carlos Pache Grand Prix Circuit for week 7. Then we'll head to the mountains of Mount Panorama down in Bathurst, Australia. Then we'll head up to Barber Motorsports Park, one of the trickiest circuits in the United States. Then we'll head back to this very circuit, Imola. Then we'll head into one of the tightest circuits and one of the trickiest circuits, Summit Point Raceway. And then we'll finish off the season with a Suzuka International Raceway in Japan. And final race results are just coming through now. And I will go ahead and let you run through the grid order.
JJ Nylander takes the win from all the way from Finland. Great race, total dominating from JJ Nylander. Tyson Mayer in second, followed by Yvonne Turman, Gerard Henderson, Dave Cameron, Bradley Haley, Ivan Hoyer, Danny De La Fuente, Sieste Boyserman, Till Norweg, Manuel Perez, Sergei Smirnov, Marcus Baumgart, Michi Hoyer, Anthony Bonner, Ronald Streicher, Warshek Kirk, and General Perry in P18. We're waiting for that refresh, but it's a very tight midfield as we look at the gaps, actually. They're just all so close to each other. At P19, we had Fabian Hegley, Michael Balonke, Alexander Holtek, Jeremy Rogers, Samuel Robinson, Vicente Martin, Perez Rodriguez, Wilco Hendricks, Vratko Gudi, and Renan Azurdo.
It says they all make their way now through here in the final grid results of the night here from Imola. And that is the end, I believe, the end of the grid results there. Yes, it is. So we welcome you into, just check to see if we have anybody here for interviews. We do not. But this will be the final race of the championship here in Imola for the VRS Sprint Championship. We look forward to seeing you again next time and next season. And we'll kick that off in just about 2 weeks' time at WeatherTech Laguna Seca for some beautiful VRS Sprint action. From all of us here at Apex Racing TV, and from us in the commentary booth tonight, Tyler Maxson and Austin Knight, we'll see you again next time.
We're almost out of fuel. You'll have to come in for a splash. 3, 2, 1, now. All clear. Punch it.